Hello everybody. So I'm going to start one series on my channel and it will be free of cost. That is F5 LTM. So in this series, we will cover F5 LTMs from beginner to advanced level, including troubleshootings. There are so many people are struggling to make career in this field, like network security, cloud security, including F5. So F5 can be deployed on cloud. Even we can deploy on the virtual machine or maybe on physical hardware. It can be maybe the physical hardware box. Okay. I only need one support from you guys is please like, subscribe, and share my video as soon as possible, as much as possible. That is only support I need from you guys. Okay. So this session is just for introduction, and accordingly we'll cover all the things one by one in our upcoming series. Okay. So guys, before starting about F5, I want to tell one thing. So there are so many load balancer in the market. Okay. There are so many load balancer in the market. But F5 is one of the leading load balancers if we see from the Gartner perspective, Gartner report perspective. F5, for example, there are 50 company, and if you consider from 50 company, 49 company will use F5 LTM because it has, it is very easy to handle troubleshooting, implementation, deployment, user-friendly web UI also. There are so many other load balancer also in the market, like we can say like Citrix, we can Radware. It's very less used. Uh, Barracuda load balancer. Okay, so A5 is one of the leading and my favorite load balancer. So many people are aware like A5 is just a load balancer. No, A5 is not just a load balancer. A5 has other capability also. Okay, it has multiple modules. Okay, so this session is just for introduction, and accordingly we'll cover all the things one by one. Okay. So BIG-IP F5 LTM is an application domain controller and that manages the delivery of the application and services. On my next slide, we'll try to see like why F5 is playing important role and why it is important. BIG-IP can be deployed and used as a physical hardware. You can as a physical hardware or maybe virtual machine, or we can deploy on the cloud environment. So mostly company at the moment deploying all the devices on the cloud. So you can deploy it cloud. It is very easy. Okay. F5 has a special operating system known as TMOS Traffic Management Operating System, and TMOS has a unified intelligence, flexibility, and a strong programmability that makes F5 a most powerful platform. Okay, A5 has multiple modules. I said earlier, right? A5 is not just the load balancers. A5 has multiple modules that are designed to fulfill each requirement, like LTM, local traffic managers, GTM, global traffic manager, that is called DNS. So our series is for the LTM, ASM, application security manager or WAF, a web application firewall, where we can keep control on our application. It is going to be protect from threats, attack on the application level. That features is available on a WAF. Okay, web application firewall, APM, access policy managers. Okay, so what are the objectives? So below are the main objective of a 5L team. Okay, it is fast, performs multiple server tasks and reduce the workload to the backend server so that backend server can perform faster with less resource utilizations. A5 has the features like we can use SSL uploading to keep our front-end communication as encrypted. We can use like SSL pass-through and SSL bridging. So there are three features in A5 we can use. And in upcoming series, we'll see everything one by one and how. We'll see with the help of example also. It is secured and it is available. Monitor the health status of the backend server, load balance the traffic among the available server, direct or redirect the specific request to appropriate resources, intercept, inspect, transform the request from user response from the server. So if traffic coming from maybe to the load balancer, it is going to inspect it, and accordingly again it is going to encrypt and send back to the backend server. So this is the beauty. These are the features in F5. It is fast, secured, and available. Okay. So I said earlier, like inside BIG-IP. So F5 is the company, guys, and BIG-IP is the model. Okay. So it has multiple features like LTM. We can select multiple module like LTM, DNS, ASM, APM. So mostly used at the moment in the production in the company is LTM, DNS, and ASM. Application Security Manager is also called WAF, Web Application Firewall. So A5 introduction, why A5 comes in the market, or maybe why it's play vital role. Nowadays, why it is playing vital role in the company. So let's consider this is your application server, maybe hosted on our company DMZ or maybe internal. And this application has the capability of 100 requests at a time. Okay, not more than that. So maybe 100 people comings, and this application server is able to access 100 requests and provide the response. Let's consider if request will be more than 100, then what will happen? This server has not the capability to handle it, right? Okay, why load balancer required, guys? In your case, for example, in above case, we have the application server where the control of this application server only handle 100 requests at a times. So you thought, okay, let's deploy another server also. So that is fine, we deployed, but how it will load balance, right? How it will load balance? For that we require load balancer, right? So here load balancer is introduced. Okay, why A5 is required? There is one legacy features also. There is one legacy method also before load balancers, that is DNS load balancing. So how it generally it's work? This is basically not used right now in the company, but this is the legacy method. Earlier it was used. Okay. So for example, this is our application www.test5.com. So we have added entry like 4 IP for that application 10, 00, 10, 20, and 30. Let's consider 3 IP. Okay, and these are our application server. You know where all the things is deployed related to our application www.test5.com. So if this client is going to be request like www.test5.coms, DNS is going to resolve this IP and give this IP to the client one, and then it will start communication to the our server 10.00.10, right? Maybe this client will go, then it will maybe this client will get IP this IP 10.00.20, and this client will start communication with 20 server. Accordingly, third people will get the IP of 10.00.30, and it will start communication to 30. Okay. Accordingly, fourth people will get again 10.00.10, and it will start communication with this application server, right? So this kind of DNS load balancing happening here. So this is the legacy method. Earlier it was used before F5, right? What about if this server goes down? Who is going to monitor it? DNS is not going to monitor it, right? So to avoid such types of things in the production, outage in the productions, F5 load balancer comes in the pictures. Not only F5, other load balancer also comes in the pictures. So it has the capability to monitor all the backend server. And if this backend server is down, this F5 is not going to send the traffic to this server. It is only going to send to the server which is healthy, which is active at the moment. So this is the beauty of F5. This is the beauty of, we can select load balancer. So for that reason, load balancer introduced in the market. Or nowadays, the company, we can mostly the product-based company where actual application is deployed, or maybe the company where the company has multiple applications, and that application is used by the customers, multiple customers. So at that time, load balancer play vital role, because we need to keep stability. We need to provide more SLA to our applications because they are using. If it is down, maybe they will not happy, right? So what does BIG-IP LTM do, guys? So it ensures the application are fast, secure, and available. Okay, it is going to monitor the health status of the backend server. I mentioned earlier, load balance the traffic among the available servers, direct or redirect the specific request to appropriate resources. We can use persistence for file here. We can, for if you want like the client coming from 10.0.0.0.10, this request should only go to this backend server. This is F5. This is the backend server, for example, 192.168.1.10. So we can These types of level of control we can do with the help of F5. Okay, it is secure because in F5 we can use our in F5 generally we use the feature like SSL uploading, SSL bridging, SSL pass through. So we'll cover all the things in our upcoming series. So I'm just giving a little bit overview about SSL uploading. Okay, so if, for example, this is our F5 and this is the client and this is the backend server. So client has no visibility. If see F5 is playing as a proxy, right? We use as a proxy also. It's kind of a proxy. This client has no visibility like who is in the middle. This client has visibility, okay, I am directly communicating to our server, that is application server. But this traffic is uploaded to our F5 load balancers. For that, we need to create CSR and certificate, create CSR and import certificate on our F5, right? And that certificate signed by well-known root CA should be present on the client web browsers. In well-known root CA history, we can say like in well-known root CA um, list that if that CA will be available on the browsers, we can say like on this PC, well-known root CA list, then this PC will be trusted. Or we can select this PC is trusted to that applications. So if the client is going to start accessing it, is going to upload on the our F5. And F5 is the has the ability to absorb the traffic and accordingly it is going to be sent to the backend server. There is another features like SSL bridgings where we can use like client profile as well as server profile, where our client and we know front-end communication as well as back-end communication will be encrypted. Okay. So for that, we need to use client profile and server profile. Everything will cover in our upcoming session, so don't worry about it. So in case of client profile and server profile, that part we call SSL bridging. So traffic coming from client to F5, it will be encrypted and F5 is going to decrypt it and again encrypt it and send back to the backend server. So this types of beauty, this types of features available in our F5 load balancer, okay? So traffic coming to the from client, client has no visibility like who is the middle. F5 is going to be inspected and accordingly sent to the backend server as per the load balancer method. If this server is goes down, F5 is not going to send this traffic to the server 3 because it has the capability to identify it with the help of health checks, and it is only going to send the traffic to the server and server 2. Okay, so this was the introduction session, guys, of our F5 LTM. In upcoming session, we'll cover all the things one by one. So I hope this video is informative for you guys, knowledgeable for you guys. So if you really like my efforts, just share, like, subscribe as much as possible. I only need support from you guys to share, subscribe, and like. Okay, I'm going to provide multiple things as in we can say like in free. Thank you very much and thanks for watching.